guys, it's Solange. Welcome back to my channel. I'm really truly delighted to have you back here again. As promised, I have started the vlogs of me showing you how I achieved certain looks for my clients this month. And featured in the thumbnail is my beautiful client wearing the dress that I made her for a graduation ceremony. So, as mentioned before, this is not a tutorial video. It's just a video of you looking at me basically working on my client's dress. That was just so busy to do an actual step-by-step tutorial for you guys. But hopefully when things are a bit less tense, then I might be able to do more tutorials for you in the near future. So, what I basically just did here was create a basic bodice block draft, and I added some seam allowance at the bottom of it. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out while my pattern paper is on fold, because this is the easiest way seeing that we're not separating the pieces like identical in half, if that makes sense. So yeah. So right at this point, I measured my armhole and I divided it into two so I can get the center point, and I'm just going to match up my dart from my waist with that center point so I can get it, basically in half. For the design, also going to repeat that on the other side if you continue to watch, and yeah. And then I'm just going to take the half on the right side and then divide that into half again so that we can have the the effect as in the photo. We don't want it to be like boring and just be like four pieces. We wanted to take it a further step and make that part blend in with the colors more, because I wanted the mustard to pop as much, and the pink is what's going to really help it to pop. this is a basic skirt draft. I didn't have enough pattern paper at the time to like add on at the bottom to make it longer. And I was trying to save paper as well because I don't know when I'm going to head into town again to get more. So I decided I will leave it at its length and then indicate on the paper like how many inches I need to add on to my full skirt length. And for the skirt section, instead of dividing it directly in half, I decided to do one side 3/4 and the other side 1/4. Just to give it a bit of a difference, so then the part that I'm going to cut is going to line up with that on the right side for the top part. And when I put it together soon, you will definitely get the whole picture of it. And of course, I indicated on each piece which color I'm going to put it into and like which side of the dress it belongs to, so that we wouldn't really have any confusion, because making these kind of dresses, it can really have confusion if you don't label them properly, and then you're going to give yourself a headache trying to figure out which part was supposed to be which part, and we don't really want that to happen. So label those pattern pieces, guys. Now for my fabric, I'm using Dorchester stretch linen, both in the mustard and the hot pink. Look at the lovely combination these fabrics have, guys. Like, look at this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting off the pink pads, laying down the patterns that I labeled I was going to do in pink. So I kind of reverse the patterns, whereas I started with a color and then I interline with the other color and so forth, so that two of the same colors won't be lined up together with the dress. And the extra line down there I'm cutting it was the additional inches I needed to add. I believe it was 5 inches if I'm seeing correctly, but yes, I needed to add an extra inch, of course include the seam allowance of the dress, because my pattern paper was not enough for the full length that I wanted for the dress. and at each point that the dress was separated from one another, you have to add a half in seam allowance so that when you're sewing it back together, it would not really affect the fit of the dress. Because if you don't add seam allowance around all of the edges that you cut your pattern paper, basically in the middle areas, then the dress is going to end up too small for your clients. I found that even like both of the fabrics were the same type of fabric. Sometimes depending on the type of fabric, like one is more stretchy than one. So this one is not, and it's not like it's creased. It's kind of crinkled. I don't know why, but after I was putting it together, it ironed out really nicely. So yes, it wasn't a problem really, even though it looks this way in the video right now. So I went ahead and did the same thing I did with the pink fabric to the mustard fabric. Of course, adding the seam allowances at the sides. basically doing here is laying out all of my pieces together. I left the pattern paper on all of them as I said before, so I won't get confused. And when I was cutting the fabric, I did so with the right side up to make it easier to pin them together when I'm ready. I'm just laying them out to see how it would look and decide if I liked how the colors were blending together. Now, if you realize the top part of this dress looks wider than the skirt part right now, but that's only because, as I said before, all of the pieces in between have seam allowances, so don't think it's going to be incorrect. Once I sew those together, both top and bottom will be lining up to be the same size. Showing you like me actually sewing this because of time's sake, and I think this video went into the night because of so many interruptions while doing it during the day. So I just pinned them together and I sewed them with a normal 2.5 stitch length. What I'm doing here, I'm sorry, the camera wasn't angled right, but I basically folded the top part in half after I clean up the edges and sew them, and I'm just giving it a facing because you don't want all of those edges inside of the garment. You want it to look as neat and clean as possible. So I'm just taking the fabric and just cutting around the entirety of the top part that is already sewn together. So right here, if you notice, I already attached my top with my bottom, and I did the seam lining I did for the top for the skirt part as well for the front piece because time was ahead of me, and you can see the shadows in the video. It's already nighttime, and I was just trying to get this dress done quickly so that my client can come for the fitting. Now I realized that before you even separate the pieces of the pattern together, you could have actually cut the back part of the dress first, but I didn't do that. So now I have to place on fold. I have to fold, already sewn dress together, place it 2 inches away from the selvage edge, which I just cut off because I don't need that writing on my dress at all since I'm doing a lapped zipper. And I'm just placing it on fold and placing it on my fabric and cutting around the entire dress basically. Or you can do that before while you still have the pattern paper. It's really up to you. And while I was doing this, I marked where my dart was supposed to be and I cut a lock zipper. I have a tutorial on how to do a lock zipper in case that is something you need to know. So yes, I didn't really go through all of those steps as mentioned before. It's not a tutorial, it's just to look a long video. And I went ahead and inserted my darts in my dress. This fabric it's not very stretchy, but it has some stretch, so I knew I would probably need to intake a bit when my client does the fitting, so I just went ahead and inserted the darts one time. Faced the neckline of the back, and now I'm going to just insert my zip and fix the lapped zipper part of my dress. Now, I wasn't too sure what type of sleeves I wanted to do for this dress. My client gave me the freedom of creating whatever type I wanted. So I decided to go with a tulip sleeve, which is the first time I'm doing a sleeve like this one. It was a bit confusing at first, but I thought it was really cute. So I kind of like petal-like on this dress. Give it a little bit of petal rose effect. Seeing that it already has so many pink popping, I will be doing the sleeves also in pink. So this is me just drafting the pattern for the tulip sleeve to attach to this beautiful dress. And in total I ended up with 4 pieces, because for this type of sleeve, if you want it to look as neat as possible, apparently you have to create a facing for it and like sew it right side together before you actually attach it to the garment. So this is the dress. It's basically done. This is how it looks on the right side. So neatly done, so beautiful. I love the sleeves. I love how they came out for the first time. This is the back, all plain and mustard, of course with my popping hot pink zip. So yes, let me show you how it looks like on a mannequin. Just take it in, just enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching this video of me making my clients dress. I will be doing more videos like this in the future, but until next time, take care and thank you so much again.